You have a lot of characters, you're using a lot of space, and we still have to hide lights. We always try to do almost over 180 degrees on location. Honestly, we try to pass the 180, and then we'll do the reverse of that, and so we'll move the lights around the other way. But we want you to keep feeling we were doing a 360 even if we were not, you know.
It's a nice bike, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pamela Perry, 48, abdominal pain with vomiting after eating chilaquiles with fried eggs. BP 108/64, pulse 98, good sats.
Okay, let's see how she feels with some Zofran and a liter wide open.
Got it.
You know, I think what's interesting in this scene is how much of choreography is made with moving vehicles as well, you know, but also it shows you a lot of the moves while they're on the go with a gurney and capturing, you know, the story without forcing it. You know, the way the camera pans from one character to the other is only when the person gives that a look to that person.
Whittaker.
How are you feeling, Miss Perry? Not so good.
Who do we have here?
Jean Samba, 54, half an hour of left-sided chest pain, history of hypertension on lisinopril and Crestor. Some relief with 2 nitro, decent vitals, no STEMI on 12 lead, gave him 324 chewable aspirin.
Okay, we're gonna give you a full evaluation, sir.
Oh, I am to die. God willing, I will see his pearly gate.
What's the plan?
Repeat 12 lead, check a troponin, admit for nuanced angina.
Evaluate for P, aortic dissection.
That goes without saying.
Sounds good. I'm a minute behind you.
And often they start talking before the camera arrives because that's how we would see it, right? So it's that balance. I think this scene shows the perfect example of the balance of how hard we are working to never anticipate too much, but always showing you, you know, the moments as it's happening on the perspective and coming back to the other person. Robbie really leads this scene in a way because he's the one welcoming all the ambulance arriving and the timing of the ambulance, you know, he's done on set.
And who do we have here?
Vince Cole, 23, fell through the skylight of a florist shop, then beat down to a bunch of ferns, complained of headache, asking repetitive questions, and only response to pain.
So I know there's obviously cuts in what we watch, but you can tell we're doing it from the beginning to the end, and we didn't pause in between 2 ambulances, and we just, you know, roll it from first ambulance to them going inside. Obviously, it cuts for us on set when they go inside because we're on location, and then we're back on our stage. So the timing of the ambulance arriving, rotating the camera around, you know, the gurney coming out and making sure it captured the right person talking at the right time without anticipating it too much, because then now we're forcing it if we do that. You know, the use, I don't think on this clip that you have a shot from the inside of the ambulance looking out, because sometimes that's how we use VCam. I don't think they use it there. They have also to coordinate the gurney coming out of the ambulance, which is not an easy thing to do for the actors playing the medics. And then, you know, timing coming down, then rolling it and going inside.
Yeah, we were parkouring and he overshot a Congo.
But like jumping off of buildings, people still do that?
It's almost an Olympic sport.
Now we know why it isn't.
There's also lighting elements you can think about here that is hard for us. You have a lot of characters, you're using a lot of space, and we still have to hide lights to, like, you know, get proper exposure on their faces and all of that. So that's always, you know, a little tricky choreography for us, and we have to think of a little corner we have to keep for making sure, you know, they can look decent on the screen and be able to do this long move that move around like this. So we always try to do almost over 180 degrees on location if we can, you know. I mean, honestly, we try to pass the 180. And then we'll do the reverse of that. And so we'll move the lights around the other way. But we want you to keep feeling we were doing a 360 even if we were not, you know. And so that's the idea of how the camera rotates there. You know, once they go inside, you can see again that choreography of everything moves really fast on the move with the gurney, and you have other characters coming around the gurney. And then, you know, you're still capturing who's talking, how, when, to like tell you the bits we need to hear. And then you want to feel the gurney passing in front of you with Robbie looking at Dana back there and telling her something. So it's all these small bits happening almost at the same time that you need to capture in a way in the editing. It feels fluid together as well.
Right. No, it's the great hiding of the cut on the move too, of like it's just the momentum of going from outside to inside. It's really like they're covering way more ground. It's not happening in real time per se, but like it's just the process is the process. It's happening. It's much more real time outside for the benefit of Robbie's moment. He's trying to get right, like he's like that one breath, and then it's like there's another ambulance right there that he can barely, and it's early yet. So,
Yeah. And the
the
shot
I,
doesn't cut there, which I love because you feel that
mhm,
momentum. We just got out the other gurney, and then the camera keeps saying rotates around him, and boom, the other ambulance arrives. So I
right.
love that it doesn't cut because then you're stuck with him. It's
Mhm.
like,
Well, it
yeah,
almost makes me ask, like, because, like, as an editor, they say, like, what's it about? Get in, get out. Like, that's sort of like your little mantra. And to me, that's like, I know there's more going on just now, but is it about that moment with Robbie? Hence the sort of uncut, elongated focusing on that, or is it about where you say like, no, it's about a lot of things, or is it really like, is there a focus for you as a DP?
I think it's showing these different moments when there's so much going on in one scene, right? So, he keeps trying to move the train and things happening, and then he feels he has a break. He was told there was only two ambulances actually that were gonna come. So he's trying to take a little breather after the second one. And as he breathes, he's already hearing a third one coming that was not planned. And so he's trying to capture that moment he was trying to have for himself, and then he'd never have a moment for himself in his shift, and that's really what we wanted to capture. And then up back at it, like it doesn't show anyone, you only
Right.
see it when you're alone with him, really. And this is kind of the moment we're trying to make it more special, on the show.
It's the big moment. I mean, well, I'll get to this because I really do want to talk about, beginnings and ends. But this also, it's the bike is planted in there at the very beginning and a number of different patients. The parkour thing is a great little, that's why it's not an Olympic sport. But looking at it and the way you're shooting it, you have to anticipate in a way that a documentary crew can't, right? They don't know any of the things that are going to happen. So they're by definition always chasing someone who starts to say something. We're trying their best to anticipate. You have to some degree a bit of a benefit of scripted dialogue to say we're going to try, but it still must be very similar to, or I guess you have the ability to be more intentional with your anticipation.
Yeah, it's a bit of a blessing and a curse at the same time when you think about it, because the fact we know in advance what's going to happen, you almost want to anticipate too much. And then if you didn't know what was going to happen, like on a documentary, you have to improvise, you might miss the moment. So it's
Yeah.
like finding this fine line that goes right in between. And I always say it's not about the camera going there. It's about if you put yourself in the shoes of the character we're following,
Mhm.
when would that person look at the other person? And that's the way we're trying to figure it. Like, if I talk and someone arrives and just asks me a question, what's the timing of me turning and looking at that person? I might miss the first word, but like if someone comes surprise me, I'll turn it, and that's the timing we're trying to hit every time. So it's not even
Mhm.
about we're trying to not about thinking about it when the camera goes, but when the character turns the camera. Doesn't make
To
sense.
motivate.
So
Have
yes,
you ever had
yeah.
do you even have the luxury of saying like we over anticipated that?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
let's try that.
Oh
Okay, so you can do it. It's like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
some
yeah.
you make it sound like it's just like your guys are cranking all day and like there isn't really time to do multiple. I don't know how many takes do you do generally?
I mean, I would say on a big move, like it's tricky for the ambulance bed because when you have so many resets with all these ambulances, it takes a while. But
Mhm.
I think this shot, for the one side and then we turn around, right? We probably did it 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And then we would go tighter too. Yeah, there was a tighter pass on it. But um, I think inside the ER on our stage, a long choreography would be between 3 and 6 takes,
Okay.
depending.
Right.
Otherwise, an average on our for more easy shot, maybe 3, 4 takes, but
Hmm.
that's kind of average. Yeah, we'll go
Right.
again, if we didn't hit the moments we wanted, or if it didn't feel natural, or. But sometimes
Right.
we know obviously they can take the beginning of one take and then the end of another take, and as long as we got that and they know they're gonna cut in between, that's okay, right?
Percent
So
mortality. 0%. Anything over 0% is a concern.
Somebody's annoying and it's not me.
Hey, you said two. You missed one.
Sent you back up, didn't I?